We're back again with another swatch of stockinette, 20 stitches and approximately 20 rows. The number of rows is not real important, it's just enough that I can actually hold on to. In this swatch, I'm going to demonstrate for you what is called binding off in a rib. And this sounds like just exactly what it is. I'm going to knit the first stitch. I'm going to bring the yarn to the front and purl the second. Again, you want to make sure you don't get this tight. We want the elasticity. I'm going to pass the first stitch over the last one. Now I'm going to knit a stitch, bind one off, bring the yarn forward and purl a stitch, bind one off, knit one, purl one, binding off every time in between. Yep, that last one was a purl one, so I need to knit one, purl one, 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 knit one, and purl one. For this last stitch, I'm going to do, instead of just pulling up to finish it off, I'm going to do what I normally do, which is to make the loop a little bit larger, take my needle out of it, and pull the tail through the final loop. It ties a little tiny knot right here at the end. Let's see if we can see it. Right there at the end. This stitch is actually knotted off. It will not easily come undone when you finish weaving in your ends. Now let's look at our bind off. You can see every other stitch pops out a little bit. That's because I did knit one, purl one, just like a regular rib. But what it does, here's our bind off tight. Let's see, where's our bind off? Here's our bind off loosely. This is going to lay a little more flat than this. This one wants to curl up, it's just going to do it. This one has a little more resistance to curling, and that's because of the interaction that you get when you go from a knit to a purl. It tends to make the yarn want to lay more flat. It is visible if this is your finished edge, so if there is no stitch patterning in your knit, this may not be the way you want to go, but it's an option. For paid patrons, there will be a video on binding off in rib on ribbed swatches. You can find me on Patreon as Knitting Fairy, and there should be a link at the end of this video.